Greetings to Village Green and beyond. We're back with the Swerve and Curve Show, where you can be hidden, but still heard. Today, Curve talks about communication and personality types. If you have a personality, you'll want to join us. Check it out, right here and right now.
Welcome to The Learning Curve, a podcast that helps you determine your learning style. When you know how to learn, you can easily see how others learn. Instead of being frustrated at communicating with others, you can simply adapt to their style of learning. The free tools presented in this podcast help everyone communicate better, regardless of age. Learning more about yourself through your learning and personality styles sets the stage for better relationships with everyone. What do I mean by learning personality profiles? Hey, you've all heard of Myers-Briggs, DISC, and other HR tests used for hiring practice, training, and the like. Learning through your senses and the 8 intelligences are the other key tools for effective communication with others. Educators administer and complete these tools and present them to the students they teach. This podcast will show you where to go and how to get the best from each of these tools. Let's start with a story and figure out which sense dominates your attention. Did you know that 50% of the male population are visual learners? They say things like,
I see what you mean. Or, I get a clear picture of that.
And they notice how you look, like,
she looks good.
The words people use tell you their dominant sense. Women, as a general rule, use more of a balance. They might have a more equal distribution of the 3 sensory types: kinesthetic, visual, and auditory. Let's look at examples of each sense and how they would describe their environment. An auditory would say something like,
Did you hear that? Or, hey, you're not listening to me. Or, tell me the directions.
A kinesthetic might say,
You know, I don't feel right about this. Or, show me how to do this. Or, I got a funny feeling about this. Or, that person really gave me the creeps.
This individual needs stimulation, movement, and tactile involvement in order to learn. What happens when a visual guy meets an auditory gal? Help me out here, Swerve. They might say something like, You're not listening to me. You haven't heard a word I said. He says something like,
Oh, yes, I did.
and she says, What did I say? He says back,
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
i.e., I wasn't looking at you. You see here a pattern of miscommunication that is really based on sensory learning. Rather than being judgmental, here is a quick fix. In the future, make sure he is looking at you when you speak. The problem is solved. Teachers that use all 3 styles engage more students. I know because I see this in every class I taught. Further, I had the students put their styles up on the board, and then we adjusted our learning experience based on the individual class participants. Okay, so follow the link here on the screen and answer the simple 20 questions and determine your learning style. Next, let's move on to this Myers-Briggs type test offered for free at humanmetrics.com. This determines the amount of extroversion, introversion, thinking, feeling, sensory, intuitive, judging, or perceiving style. HR departments are very familiar with this and use it to hire and improve communication. For example, my strong leaning to intuitive thinking explains why those with a feeling sensory bent didn't seem to understand me as well. Once I adapted to their style, I gained their comprehension and support. That changed everything and reduced my frustration. I also saw that people with similar styles seemed to like me better as I did them. That might explain why some family members have a certain bond with one over the other. Think about that. Quite simply, they're bonding because they learn in a similar fashion. Well, that's enough to get us started. Please let us know your styles when you introduce yourself to our community here. We're always looking for more volunteers. See you next time.
Thanks, Curve. Be sure to get involved and take those tests. Won't take long, and I guarantee your results will be quite illuminating. We'd love to share your ideas for future podcasts. Don't be shy with your profound observations or just a two-bit opinion. That's all today for the Swerve and Curve Show, where you can be hidden and still heard.